Former WWE employee Mark Carrano accused of stealing title belts, Edge apologizes to Kurt Angle for starting the "You Suck" chants, and Paul Heyman on his take on Daniel Bryan's WWE future. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. Former WWE employee Mark Carrano accused of stealing title belts. Former Senior Director of Talent Relations in WWE Mark Carrano was fired from the company this past week. In a bizarre twist, his ex-girlfriend Deborah Simmons has now taken to Twitter to accuse Carrano of stealing WWE title belts. Simmons claims Carrano hid the title belts under the bed in his guest bedroom by saying, quote, "Hey WWE, Mark Carrano stores belts that he stole from WWE under the bed in his guest bedroom at his West Haven home," end quote. Deborah Simmons has also made a series of other allegations against the former WWE employee, like Carrano trying to kill his ex's cat, putting her in sticky situations, yelling at her for not answering her phone at a funeral, and more. Her Twitter handle has since been made private, but the following are some of the claims she has made on her Twitter feed. One is saying, quote, "It's one thing to emotionally abuse and torment humans who can stand up and walk away, but to abuse a helpless animal, that's a whole other level of unacceptable. But Mark Carrano tried to kill his ex's cat. Mark Carrano enjoyed putting me in sticky situations so he can swoop in at the last minute and try to be my knight in shining armor. What it resulted in is many head games that left me confused and wondering what the heck. One time, Mark Carrano yelled at me because I didn't answer my phone when he called. I was at a funeral. Mark Carrano would introduce me to everyone as his fiancé, which would make me uncomfortable because marriage isn't my thing," end quote. This past week, former WWE Superstar Mickie James revealed that WWE delivered her belongings to her in a trash bag. Many fans and wrestling personalities slammed WWE for the treating of the released superstar in this manner. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon personally apologized to Mickie James on social media. It was reported that Mark Carrano was the person responsible for this incident and had been fired by WWE as a result. Triple H also stated in his tweet that the person responsible for the actions was no longer with WWE. Released WWE star on pitching ideas to Vince McMahon. Chelsea Green has gone into detail on pitching character ideas to WWE Chairman Vince McMahon during their first meeting. In a recent appearance on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, the recently released WWE Superstar recalled her first meeting with Vince McMahon and how open he was to receiving new ideas. Green said she felt very positive about the conversation after the meeting, referring to Vince McMahon as "my buddy Vince," by saying, quote, "I have no idea the way he is with everybody else, but he was very open to just listening to me. So I went in there and told him who I am, what I excel at, and that I have so many ideas in my head. And I'll give him any idea. What do you want? Tell me what you want, because I can give it to you. Okay, so what are these ideas?" he said. So he let me list off these 15 ideas, I think, and he wrote them all down, end quote. Green also noted how Vince McMahon took an interest in who she was as a person as well as a wrestler by saying, quote, "After that, he kind of asked me, so tell me about you. Don't tell me about the wrestler Chelsea, tell me about you. Who inspires you? What wrestler do you want to emulate? Tell me about your family." It was all kind of crazy because it just felt like I was sitting in front of my dad, just chatting. I went in there, shoulders up to here, so nervous, and by the end I was like, "My buddy Vince," end quote. During the conversation, Chelsea Green also detailed the moments leading to her WWE release, saying her partner Matt Cardona warned her other talents had begun to receive their releases, by saying, quote, "First of all, he warned me that this was coming. Not necessarily to me that I was going to get fired, but he did call me and give me a 10-minute gap between the time he told me people are letting go and me being let go," end quote. Green stated she is looking forward to exploring other creative aspects of her career alongside wrestling. Mandy Rose turns down WWE Superstar on Twitter. Mandy Rose sent a message to Dolph Ziggler in her latest tweet after the former world champion attempted to get back with her. It has been over a year since Mandy Rose left Dolph Ziggler and kicked off a romantic storyline with Otis. Ziggler tried his best to make things right between the two, but Rose wasn't having any of it. He has sent several tweets over the past year in attempts to woo her, but to no avail. Fans might remember that former WWE Superstar Hornswoggle, also known as Dylan Postel, had asked Rose to get back with Ziggler in a video on Twitter last year. Ziggler had significant praise for Hornswoggle in response to last year's tweet. He then asked Mandy Rose to whether she wanted to watch Rough and Rowdy 14 together. One should note that Hornswoggle made his boxing debut at Rough and Rowdy 14, losing against Jeremy Smith. Mandy Rose responded to Ziggler's offer by telling him to give up. Mandy Rose learned mere days before WrestleMania 36 that Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville had plotted to keep her away from Otis. The SmackDown mystery hacker revealed the same on an episode of the Blue Brand. Ziggler faced Otis in a singles match at WrestleMania 36 and lost a bout following a low blow from Rose. Mandy Rose and Otis immediately got together, and the WWE Universe was delighted for the couple. Rose and Otis later on lost a tag team match to Deville and Ziggler on an episode of SmackDown. Later in the year, Mandy's trade to WWE Raw marked the end of the romantic angle. Ziggler still holds hope that he will win Mandy Rose's heart again, but her responses so far have indicated that she's done with him for good. Edge apologizes to Kurt Angle for starting the "You Suck" chants. Edge and Kurt Angle were the two of the biggest stars during WWE's Attitude Era. One of the Attitude Era's highlights was the "You Suck" chant pioneered by Edge for Angle. The chant started as an insult to the Olympic gold medalist, but it became iconic with his theme music as time went on. Kurt Angle recently posted a video on Instagram sharing the origins of the "You Suck" chant. Angle also sarcastically thanked Edge for starting the chant. The post got plenty of responses, including one from Edge, the creator of the "You Suck" chant. The Rated R Superstar apologized for the chant and also commented on his fashion choices at the time, which he hoped would make Angle feel better. The chant began one fateful night on Monday Night Raw, where Kurt Angle decided to reveal his new t-shirt. Unfortunately for the former WWE Champion, Edge tampered with the reveal, changing the words on the t-shirt to "You Suck." He took his time, but it's nice to see Edge apologizing for probably one of the greatest chants of the Attitude Era. Paul Heyman on Daniel Bryan's WWE future. Paul Heyman has assured WWE fans that Daniel Bryan will lose his match against Roman Reigns on next week's episode of WWE SmackDown. After failing to win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 37, Bryan now has another opportunity at Reigns' title in a one-on-one match. If Reigns wins, Bryan will be banished from SmackDown. Paul Heyman, who serves as Reigns' special counsel, co-host to SmackDown's post-show Talking Smack with Kayla Braxton, warned those who wanted Bryan to win the Universal Championship by saying, quote, "If Roman Reigns wins, and I assure you Roman Reigns will win, that's it for Daniel Bryan. He's out of here. He's not coming back like the Midnight Rider. He's out, O-U-T, gone, banished from SmackDown. No more Daniel Bryan. No more Bryan Danielson. No more American Dragon. No more Brie Bella's baby's daddy around here. Gone, finished, kaput, out the damn window. In the history books, someone will remember when you say, tell me something about Roman Reigns and the people he victimized, that he imposed his will on as the tribal chief. In the end, all be all, the reigning, defending, undisputed, uncontroverted WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, the head of the table." End quote. Speaking in a recent interview with BT Sport, Daniel Bryan said that he is unsure where his future lies. The SmackDown Superstar revealed that he felt an odd detachment from his WrestleMania 37 match. He also confirmed that his contract is due to expire soon. In the WrestleMania 37 main event of Night 2, Roman Reigns stacked Edge on top of Daniel Bryan before pinning both men to retain his Universal Championship. Before that, Bryan failed to win the Universal Championship from Reigns at WWE Elimination Chamber and WWE Fastlane. He also unsuccessfully challenged The Fiend Bray Wyatt at Survivor Series 2019 and the 2020 Royal Rumble. Although Bryan has never won the Universal Championship, he is still a 5-time WWE World Champion. He has held the WWE Championship on 4 occasions and the World Heavyweight Championship once. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, be sure to follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.